Welcome back to Woodsley Bees. I'm Rob, and just a backyard beekeeper. So I have two hives right now. I'm calling this 5 and 6. This one's 5, and it's the weak hive. Today is about 13 degrees outside, and the bees are busy. They're in and out of the entrance. And what I want to do actually is start feeding them a little bit because it's early spring. There's not too much food available for them to forage on. I just want to make sure they don't starve out. They're just in a brood box, so they're not going to be storing any of this food. It's just so that they don't starve out. Just throw some smoke in there. I just had a quick peek in here the other day, and there's bees in there. I don't know what state they're in as far as how much brood is in there. So, if any. So we're going to find out together. Looking at the top, just a few bees. This is the weak hive. I'm not seeing any issue with hive beetles on the top, that's really good because, like I said, this is not a very strong hive. So the first thing I'm going to do, take these Swiffer pads off. And unfortunately there's a few bees stuck on it. That happens as long as the queen doesn't get stuck on it. I'm going to put that there for a minute out of the way, and I have a Hive Alive candy board on top, and as I look down into the frames, I see 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 frames of bees, so not a whole lot. So they've been building wax around this. There's a couple of beetles. Got that one. Just put this out of the way for a few minutes. Give them a little bit of smoke at the top. Smoke them down. I'd like to get rid of this comb at the top. It just creates an obstacle for me. This is going to be a relatively quick inspection. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time bothering them, but I do want to have a quick look to see if I can see eggs. I did see a queen in here the other week. It's been a couple of weeks now. It's been a couple of weeks since I gave them a couple of decent frames of better looking comb. So I'm kind of hoping that they've got some eggs laid out in that new comb. Well, I guess we'll find out. Let's see what we got here. This frame is stuck in there pretty good. Oh yeah, that's stuck in there real good. Why are you in there? So okay, so there is nectar on here and honey. Nectar and honey. Not seeing any dead bees. In 1 or 2 of my previous videos looking in this hive, there were dead bees kind of on the frames. I wasn't really sure what was going on with those guys. Here we have nectar and honey. Now this is a nice frame of yellow comb with honey and nectar. The other one was kind of an older frame. This next frame is the frame that I was kind of hoping she might lay on. I guess we'll find out. I do see one beetle. Get rid of that one. It looks like they're putting some nectar in there. And this is actually white comb, so it's kind of hard to see eggs on there anyway. But I actually don't think there are any eggs on that frame. I'll put that one back in. Now this next frame is where I found the queen. Again, it was a few weeks ago. They seem to, I don't know, they seem to like these plastic frames, I find. I find the queen on a plastic frame quite frequently. This side of the frame, I'm seeing larvae. Or should I say, drawn, I can't even say it, drawn brood. Oh, I'm really hoping to see eggs. Get the sun behind the frame. I see some fairly young larvae. That's a really good sign. The queen could be on this frame or the next. Let's get these girls back in the box. So there's open larvae, which would be less than a week old on that frame. So the queen has definitely laid since I last opened them up. But I wouldn't say that there is a ton of brood. By any measure. It's a pretty weak colony, really. It's hard to know where we're going with this colony. I heard somebody say the other day, don't waste time on weak colonies. Find the queen, kill her and replace her. Well, that's good if you can find a queen to replace her with. Right now, I don't think there's any queens available for me. Just having a quick look around, see if I can see the queen. I do not. Okay, let's put this back in. I don't want to bother them too much, but what I do think I will do is I'm going to put a jar of nectar on the top, sugar water. Yeah, she's laid out on several frames, but they're not particularly strong. Still not sure where we're going to go with this hive, if they're going to make it or not. They are very, very weak. 1, 2, 3. Realistically 3 frames of bees on this colony. I'm not sure what these girls are doing here. There's nothing there. Maybe they're putting a little bit of nectar in there. So that's kind of where we're standing with this hive right now. Not overly strong. Didn't find the queen. I didn't actually notice any eggs. But there is some brood that looks to be maybe 5 days old. The bees are relatively calm, which may indicate that that they have a queen. What I'm going to do now is, put this feed back on toward the front, and put this board on, and top board. Oh, that's not good. You know what, I'm going to take that off because it's pushing the top up too much. I'm not going to be able to get a good seal on the hive. But that's okay because they're going to get sugar water. They're going to get sugar water, and then I will put a box on top. All right, so we'll put a box on the top of this. And then we'll put a lid on top of this. Okay, so we're in the strong hive, hive number 6. We're just going to do basically the same thing. Actually, I'm not going to do an inspection on these girls. But all I'm going to do is remove the insulated top board, remove the hive alive, and give them some liquid feed. I just want to try and guarantee that they don't starve out. That's a liter, I think, of liquid feed that I'm going to give them. These girls are definitely stronger than the other hive. I'm not going to get into the hive itself. I'm just going to try and remove that. It's stuck on there. Ooh. Why are you girls hanging out on the Swiffer pad? It's not a good place. My favorite method, I guess, of you probably saw those guys. That's what happens when they get a little spot where they can actually get under and hide. So that's not the ideal really, for them to have a little spot under a hive alive to hide. That's not the intention at all. Okay, so I'm actually just going to put this on. There is actually only 9 frames in that top box. I'm not sure if it was intended, if I originally intended that to be a honey box. but they do have, or they did have, brood up there. So I put some feed up there, liquid feed. And a box on top of the feed to protect it, because it is glass after all. And then I'll put the cover on that. Alright, so there are my 2 hives. Pretty weak in this one. I'm still not sure if this hive is going to make it without a new queen. I could try and find out if somebody has a new queen. I will put a word out to find that out. This hive's doing gangbusters. At some point, what I intend to do is what I thought was a demare split, which I guess is actually what I do, is a vertical split. I put a double screen board in between the 2 boxes, and I say a week, and then I check the 2 boxes to see which box has got fresh eggs in it, and hopefully one of the box would have queen cells in it, and hopefully the box with eggs doesn't have queen cells in it. So I don't want them to swarm, but I do want them to consider themselves queenless and build a new queen. This is probably in the next month, sometime towards the end of April, beginning of May, somewhere there. I got to keep an eye on them because they're getting pretty packed in there. Maybe this weekend, if the weather's good, I'll do an inspection and see how much space they still have, because you want to get in there and you want to, prioritize what you're looking for, and what you need to know what you're looking for when you get in there. You don't want to keep it open too long. But yeah, I mean, I got 2 nukes on order, so I will definitely have 3 hives, this one and 2 more, and still not sure what's going on with this. I'll see if I can get a queen for it or not. Hopefully get a split, and I've got a couple of swarm traps out, so we're starting out into a season where I hope I end up with about 6 hives by the time August comes, and then hopefully we'll get some good harvest of honey. Last year I got 18 gallons, which for me as a backyard beekeeper I thought was pretty decent. I actually only just recently gave away my last jar of honey, just last week actually, to a fella around the corner. So I have honey for myself, but none to give away anymore. So anyway, they're both bringing pollen in, which is a good sign. I see them with the yellow pollen on their legs on both hives. So that is a good sign. Makes you think, well, they must be wanting to feed the babies. Now they've got some liquid in there, liquid feed, so that's gonna, if they need to make some comb or if they need to get fed, if they're hungry, I'm sure they're hungry because there's not much flowering around, really. There's not much, so that will give them something to eat. The hive life was okay while it was still freezing temperatures and stuff, but now it's starting to warm up. I'm moving to the liquid, and then before I put any supers on, put any, because I don't want sugar water to be honey crap. So anyway, that's all I'm going to do for today. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Don't forget to make a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're doing in your bee yard. Take care now. Bye.